3 true, disturbing carnival horror stories. Prepare yourselves, dear listeners, as we delve into 3 chilling tales of carnival horror. These stories will haunt your thoughts, making you question the innocent fun of that familiar fare. Turn down the lights and brace yourselves for an unnerving journey into the unknown. Story 1. The Haunted Funhouse. It was a warm summer night when Emily and her companions decided to visit the local carnival. Among the numerous attractions, the old, creaky funhouse got their attention. The funhouse had a reputation. Locals whispered about strange occurrences and eerie sounds coming from within. But the group, seeking a thrill, decided to ignore the warnings and entered the funhouse with excited laughter. As soon as they entered, the carnival's cheerful noise outside gave way to an unsettling silence, and the air became chilly. The gathering felt an unexpected chill of fear as the faint lights glimmered, casting eerie shadows on the walls. The funhouse was a maze of dull passages and mirrors with dreadful comedian life-sized models and glimmering lights. Emily started to feel a chill in the air as they went deeper. Unsettlingly, her friends' laughter bounced strangely off the walls. The lights out of nowhere went out, and they dove into dimness. Emily's heart pounded as she grabbed for her buddies, yet all she felt was cool, void air. A faint light flickered back on, and Emily found herself alone. The mirrors around her reflected innumerable variants of herself, all looking equally tormented. She started to panic when she heard whispers that got louder and more insistent. She called out to her friends as she stumbled through the maze, but only her own voice was heard. She felt a cold hand on her shoulder just as she was about to give up. Pivoting, she encountered a clown mannequin, yet its eyes appeared to follow her. Emily escaped through the hallway, finally bursting out into the fresh air. Her friends were outside, their faces pale with fear. They, too, had experienced the eerie whispers and moving mannequins. Shaken, they left the carnival, promising never to return. The funhouse was destroyed years later. However, local people still talk about the apparitions that spooky its dull lobbies, always trapped in the twisted maze of mirrors. Story 2. The Disappearing Child. In a small town, the annual carnival was the feature of the year. Families rushed to the carnival, enjoyed the rides, games, and treats. One year, a mother named Lisa took her young child, Tommy, to the festival. They spent the day enjoying the attractions, taking pleasure in the lively climate and festive activities. However, as night fell and the carnival lights started to sparkle against the obscuring sky, Lisa became momentarily distracted by a road entertainer. In that short moment, Tommy strayed, drawn by the allure of the beautiful stalls and alluring sounds. Panic set in as Lisa realized her child was missing. Panic set in as Lisa searched for Tommy, calling his name frantically. She went up to a worker at the carnival, who reassured her and announced Tommy's name over the loudspeaker. Hours passed, and the amusement park started to close down. However, there was no sign of Tommy. Frantic and grief-stricken, Lisa contacted the police, who led a careful inquiry of the carnival. They tracked down no hint of the kid. The festive lights diminished, and the once vivacious fair transformed into a serious scene. Lisa lost hope as the night got darker. The people group revitalized to help her. However, the mystery of Tommy's vanishing tormented the town for years. The carnival left town the next day, and the search for Tommy continued without success. Weeks later, Lisa returned to the now empty fairgrounds, hoping for some clue. She meandered through the abandoned space, her heart weighty with despair. As she stood where the funhouse had once been, she heard a weak sound, a child's laughter. Following the sound, she found an old, weathered clown doll lying in the dirt. It was holding a small piece of Tommy's shirt. Lisa was convinced that the carnival held dark secrets, that somehow her son had been taken by something sinister. The carnival was never seen again in the town, but Lisa never lost hope because she believed that one day she would discover the truth and find her son. Story 3. The Cursed Carousel. The carousel is frequently a favorite among children and adults alike, and carnivals are known for their enchanting rides. A brand new carnival opened its doors in a peaceful town and featured a lavishly carved antique carousel. The carousel quickly became the main draw for the excited residents of the town. Families flocked to see the intricately designed and expertly painted horses. The merry-go-round's unusual music and beautiful lights added to the mystical air. It was a nostalgic sight that delighted everyone who saw it. However, the carousel's charm masked a dark and eerie secret waiting to be discovered. After hearing tales that the carousel was cursed, a young person by the name of Jake made the decision to take a ride one night. There was a legend that the carousel was spooky by the soul of a little kid who had died in a horrendous mishap a long time back. Jake, doubtful yet inquisitive, boarded one of the horses and waited for the ride to start. As the merry-go-round started to rotate, an agitating chill pervaded the air. As the lights darkened, the peppy music eased back to an unpleasant song. Jake went to see a spooky figure standing close to him. Her eyes loaded up with distress, and felt a cold hand on his shoulder. As the merry-go-round turned, Jake felt a bizarre sensation, as if the temperature had decreased. The lights diminished, and the lively music warped into a frightful tune. He glanced around and saw that the other riders' appearances were blank, their eyes looking vacantly ahead. When he realized he was trapped in his seat and stable, panic grasped him. The carousel started to spin faster and faster, the once lovely countenances of the riders distorting into a bizarre mask of fear. As he struggled to escape, Jake's heart raced, but the spinning ride seemed to trap him in a terrifying cycle of fear and despair. Despite his efforts, Jake was held in place by hands that were not visible. Similarly, as he thought he was unable to take any more, the carousel suddenly halted. The other riders began to move, seemingly unaware of the horrifying experience as the lights returned to normal. Jake stumbled off the ride, shaken to his core. He later learned that several people had reported similar experiences, always on the same horse. The ride was eventually taken down as the myth of the Cursed Carousel spread. Yet Jake always remembered the sensation of being trapped in a bad dream, everlastingly spooky by the memory of the Cursed Carousel and the spooky young lady who tormented its twisted ride. These stories remind us of the hidden horror that can hide underneath the outer layer of our favorite spots. Despite their joy and laughter, carnivals occasionally conceal dark secrets. As you switch off the lights tonight, remember these takes and consider the unseen force that might be lurking just out of sight. Stay safe and beware the unexplored world. The next time you visit a festival, stop briefly to look beyond the bright lights and cheerful music. You never know what might be hidden away, awaiting the right moment to come out.